Alright, so today, this episode is called Find the Humidity. We're at 79% humidity. I got one in the return, and I got one downstairs, just in the middle of the house. So, I'm gonna climb to this attic, and I'm gonna see if I can find any hot air intrusion, or anything that might be sucking in hot air from outside. It's the only thing I can think of. We got this thing closed cell foam. So right there is telling you it's not going to be insulated in the rain. They don't use closed cell foam for some reason in Florida, so he's probably going to need a dehumidifier. I want to climb over there. I don't see much hot air here. So I found the issue. There's a hole back there. There's another hole going to the porch, and it's not insulated. All this hot air is coming in here. I'll pop up a picture. And now I'm trying to check with the AC to make sure it's actually performing all right, because we definitely got an issue going on here. It's in cool mode, and the slipper line is condensating. So we gotta check that out. Alright, so I found hot air intrusion in the attic. The temperature split was not good at all, so I come down and check pressures. I had suction at like 38 over like 190, which is telling me I think it's low, but I'm gonna double check to make sure it's not a TXV issue. We're gonna add just a little bit of refrigerant, see if it makes a difference, and then we'll throw it in heat mode and see what the pressures look like in heat mode. But I'm thinking it's low. I could not find a leak at 160 resting. I did electronic leak search throughout. You can see a lot of leaves, but I couldn't find an actual physical leak in the unit anywhere. If it is a leak, it's probably a really small one. I definitely think it's low in refrigerant. I added a little bit, and this thing is going up. So I'll let it run for a little bit and see how much we need to add and get it going. Found it, fellas. So I found that leak with this right here. It's the Elitech IDL 200. And I have cracked this thing and taped it, and it still finds leaks. I highly recommend this thing. You don't have to change batteries, you just charge batteries right here at the charging port. But this thing has been great. I've used it for about 2 years now, and she's working great. Alright guys, so to be continued on this one. This one I showed up. They are having humidity issues. And the first thing I found, just because it was a newer home, assuming everything was running correctly, the first thing I found there's a big hole. They had AV wires and new power in addition to the house ran, and they cut a hole in the open cell foam and never sealed it up. So all this hot air from the room that's not insulated, the back porch area, all this hot air is just piling up. It was just piling up and sucking in hot air. The return box seal's broken, so it's just sucking in all that attic air and causing more humidity. I walked in there and it was 80% relative humidity inside this house. And I went up to the attic, checked the readings, and I noticed there was no temp split also when I was checking humidity coming out of the unit. There was no temp splits. I don't even know where I'm going, trying to get out of here with no GPS. But there was no temp split, so I went and checked refrigerant. It looked low, so I added some, and as soon as I added some and that temp split started changing, I was watching all that, and I was watching the temp split change, and I literally was watching the humidity drop. It dropped to 70% from 80%, like within minutes. And I knew there was a leak somewhere, and I talked to the homeowner. He speaks Spanish prominently, so his son had to come help translate. But I talked to him, and they've been filling refrigerant in this unit every year. And they're like, oh, it's just every year you just got to add. I'm like, no, you should not have to add refrigerant every year. We'll find this leak and figure what it's out. It was a very, very small leak. The Elitech leak detector found it, did a great job. And I'm surprised actually that it found it. I did not think that it was going to find that leak because I searched and searched and searched. And did a great job. Found the leak, hit it with some soap and bubbles just to watch it bubble, and that's where the leak is. It's in the bottom nut of that TXV. Those shouldn't leak, they have a seal. It's in there. We could change the seal, but it's under warranty, so I'm just going to change that whole TXV. I'm also going to fix a couple of ductwork things, small things that he's got going on while I'm fixing that TXV, just to help him out since I'm up there. It's literally a piece of tape here, a piece of tape there, so it's not going to be much. And just get that part under control and fixed for sure. So we're going to get the part. I'm probably going to get that part tomorrow, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll get that installed. Alright, we just pumped it down. Let's get in the attic. We'll change that TXV, and we'll change this line dryer. Let's get to it. So the leak was coming through the threads here in this nut. And this nut, when you take it off, is this adjustment, and it should be sealed. It should never leak. So if that's leaking around the threads, your internal seals are leaking. So you need to replace TXV. Tubes. I ain't doing no aluminum brazing today. pressure test passed. I'm pulling the vacuum. After we get done with this, I got a couple of ductwork things I'm going to patch up for them just to be nice. But I might do that while I'm pulling the vacuum. It's already way down, but I'm going to let it pull a really good vacuum. I feel bad because I was all out of duct strap. I was going to use duct strap to hold this up. It just needs to be propped up. I don't have a 2x4 to go under it. So I just use these Panduit straps for right now. This is just to hold it up because what's happening is it's pulling the tape off at this tape joint. So I'm going to tape this up. I got to put foam tape around this. And then there's a couple spots in the ductwork we gotta fix. Alright, so I'm going to go in here and show you guys one of the humidity problems they have. First, they cut this hole to run some electrical. I guess they added on to the house. And then you go through here. I can already feel the moisture in this thing. But right here, and then right through here, there's a patio. This whole area. He's got hot air coming in. It's not insulated at all. So until they get that fixed. I don't know what to tell them. The vacuum is done. Attic stuff is done. So we're opening these back up, and then I'm going to kick her on. I'm gonna check temperature. I'm gonna check the subcool, and then we're gonna check. I'm gonna check the humidity levels and see if they went down. And then I'll check the humidity level just inside the attic. Period. And see where to go from there. That's what we're doing. About to kick her back on. So I got one of the thermometers in the attic and one down in the living room, centralized in the house. Got 70% humidity in this house, 72 here. I'm about to go put it back there and see how much humidity is getting sucked into here, because it could be helping because we got the attic access open there. So it is so hot and swampy in this room. And this is still part of the house here. This is insane. It's 90% humidity. You guys see that? And I'm not even all the way in that hole. I'm just close to it. All that is leaking into this house. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. You can feel the wet moisture build up. All this wood here is going to just absorb mold. Like that one's already doing it. There's already getting mold spores in the wood. So I'm cleaning up here. I got all the numbers I need. This AC is definitely helping a lot. It is struggling though to get it down. I think we're at like 68% humidity when I first got here. The temperature inside was satisfied at like 68. And that's, to me, that's crazy, because it felt like it was 70, almost 80 degrees in there with the moisture in there. It's just, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to live like that so comfortable. They're going to try to get that fixed in the attic with the insulation situation. And then go from there. I told them that it's good to get on a maintenance program with whoever, just to help monitor the system. Just so we can see any changes. You can actually see sealing that up works and all that other stuff. I'm the kind of guy, I just like to see the numbers. I like to see the data that what you did actually is fixing the problem completely and not partially fixing the problem. But that's where we're at. I'm zipping this thing up and we're getting out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one.